Today we are at the plastic surgeon's office. It is my first appointment, my first time to meet him, and I'm a little bit nervous. I have a lot of questions regarding the surgery, specifically the reconstruction post-mastectomy, and from early on my husband had requested that I would refrain from looking at pictures in the internet and to just not entertain any thoughts of insecurities or fear. And today he's going to show us pictures, I think, and he's going to measure me and let me know what I'm qualified for. And this is hard for me. For most women that I have met, the hair loss has been the most difficult thing about this journey. And for me, my hair will grow back, and I've embraced the bald, and it's been okay. But the fact that I'm going to be losing my boobs, it's hard for me, very hard. And so this is the first step towards kind of talking about the surgery, and it's not fun.
First stage mastectomy, removal of the breast tissue, whether it's unilateral or bilateral, and placement of what's called a tissue expander. Mm-hmm. Tissue expander is exactly as the name implies. It just expands tissue. When you wake up that first day, it'll still be relatively flat. It'll feel kind of like a waterbed. We'll let the incisions heal for 2 weeks, and then we'll start expansion.
And is the scar going to be, like, as you expand, the scar going to be below, or like?
It'll depend to some degree where you're, if we do nipple sparing versus non-nipple sparing.
Do you keep the nipple at that point, or do you put it on later?
It's kept at the time of the mastectomy. It's not removed.
Okay.
So the nipple is spared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah.
So it's not like later reattached. Is that
Right.
kind of what you were asking?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like
frozen nipple and
No, put it on the shelf.
Oh, God.
Hey, the
So-
things that they do,
that
our
they-
eggs are
These are
frozen.
good questions, exactly. Which is the best option for you? What are the pros and cons of each of these? Relative benefit of implant-based reconstruction is recovery time. So when you come in for the second stage, we take the expander out, we put the permanent implant in. That's an outpatient procedure. You go home the same day.
Wow.
Because you're a physical therapist. I usually tell people take a week off work just to give yourself time to recover.
And when you say the lifespan of an implant is a lifetime, or I mean,
I have some patients who've had them in for 20 plus years and they're just fine. You know.
what about 40 plus? Because I'm 33.
Exactly. I would say there's a very good chance that at some point you will need to have them replaced or some type of little revision. If we're just doing implant-based, I would say 99% of the time I do liposuction and fat grafting as well. And the fat I try to lay on top of the implant.
Just to hide the rippling, or
to help try to hide that rippling.
Yeah.
Because the breast extends from almost up to the clavicle, and far out laterally to the mid-axillary line where the latissimus, anterior border latissimus is.
Right.
So it has a big footprint, which you don't realize until you start going through this process.
Yeah, my lump isn't here. It's kind of like on my
Exactly.
chest. Now, what if I gain weight? I have time, but I mean, is that something that if I were to choose to go this route, is that something that, I guess it depends on how much weight I gain? or-
Exactly. To be honest, I doubt you'd be able to gain enough weight to achieve a full CD cup just because
really?
you are so petite. But this is the one instance where a doctor will tell you eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
So.
well, she can step up to a challenge if it involves chocolate.
It is the end of the day. I'm playing outside with my son. He's such a mess. He's just stomping on puddles and playing with his car and his McQueen over here. But I am pretty pleased on how today went with the consult with the plastic surgeon. I anticipated being pretty upset and having an emotionally heavy day, but I'm totally okay. We really liked the surgeon. We liked the way that he explained things to us, his bedside manners, his tone, his compassion, and his confidence that he's going to take good care of me, and that really helped with that. I also thrive on knowing information. I had lots of questions, and I really wanted to make an educated decision on how to move forward. And so it was good to finally receive all this information, and he had a slideshow and explained things really well. So that was good, and it helped me feel better about the whole thing. And Bo really liked him too. That helps me feel more confident when my husband is also confident in the doctor. Basically, after the mastectomy, the reconstruction is a 3-step process. It's not like take it out, put new ones in, and you're done. It's not quite like that. They have to put in initially expanders for my skin to give, and they're going to put that in and then kind of pump me up for a few weeks. And then the second procedure is the putting in the implants, and the third part is the nipple reconstruction. I did not qualify to have a fat transfer because I just didn't have enough fat. There are some people that just do a tummy tuck, and I don't really have a tummy to tuck and use the fat to transfer to my boobs. I kind of don't have an option. I have to use an implant, which is fine with me. I do have to gain a little bit of weight because he needs a little bit of fat to put in the top of the implant, otherwise the ripples will show. And so that'll be fun to have to gain a little bit of weight so he can do a little liposuction. But anyway, it's all probably a lot of information for all of you, but it's my reality, and I'm coming to grips with it. I'm still not quite to the point where I'm grieving everything quite yet. About this whole process, losing my girls will be the hardest thing, and I have met women that really didn't have a hard time with that. The hair loss was the hardest part for them, and for me really is the opposite. I'm fine with the hair loss. The hair will grow back, boobies do not. Remember that love is bigger than cancer. Knox, você tá com uma pedra? Vem, dá pra mamãe. Tá aqui. Dá pedra pra mamãe, filho? Achou uma pedra? Dá pra mamãe. Muito bem. Fala tchau, tchau.